April 25th, 2026, Washington, D.C., the Washington Hilton Hotel. That evening, the White House Correspondents Dinner is taking place, an event where the President of the United States, his administration, and the country's leading journalists all gather in one room. The evening is just beginning when shots are heard outside the ballroom. Someone breaks through the security checkpoint and is attempting to carry out what would later be described as a national tragedy. And here's how it happened. Inside the building, a multi-layered security system is already in place. However, the hotel continues to operate as usual, with regular guests still staying there. It's 8:30 p.m. Guests are already inside. To get in, they show their invitations at the entrance without presenting ID, and only closer to the ballroom do they pass through metal detectors, where even when alarms go off, some guests are not asked to empty their pockets. After that, they take elevators down into a large ballroom space with dense seating, where by this point, around 2,500 people have gathered. All attention is focused on the stage, where Donald Trump appears and takes a seat next to Melania, with J.D. Vance nearby. Food service begins, guests are served a spring pea and burrata salad, and the evening settles into the familiar rhythm of a formal dinner. At the same time, one floor above, in the lobby at the screening area before the ballroom entrance, a man appears. He moves toward the checkpoint, then suddenly accelerates, pushes through the screening point, and runs into security personnel, armed with a shotgun, a handgun, and knives. Several shots are fired. The sound reaches the ballroom muffled, and in the first seconds is not recognized as gunfire, but rather as something like a tray dropping or glass breaking. However, the situation changes the moment armed personnel begin entering the room. The ballroom effectively freezes. Conversations stop, and people begin to duck down and move under tables. On the stage, at that moment, agents of the United States Secret Service act according to protocol, immediately covering the president, pushing him down and removing him from the stage, while simultaneously securing Melania and Vice President J.D. Vance. Inside the ballroom, uncertainty remains, as no one understands where the attacker is or whether he is moving toward the room. Most people stay in place. Guests try to get online using the weak Wi-Fi signal. Some call newsrooms to report the first updates. At the same time, security personnel begin a targeted evacuation, removing cabinet members and other key individuals. Meanwhile, on the upper level, officers take the attacker to the ground, where he manages to fire a few more shots, but is stopped almost immediately after the shootout begins. During the confrontation, one agent is shot in the chest. However, a ballistic vest stops the bullet, preventing more serious consequences. The president is not taken outside at this point, but is moved into a secure room inside the building until full safety is confirmed. During this time, the possibility of continuing the dinner is discussed. However, the Secret Service rejects the idea, as protocol does not allow a return to a potentially vulnerable space. After about an hour, a decision is made to end the event. The area around the hotel is secured by that point. Streets are blocked. Guests leave the building in an orderly manner, after which the presidential motorcade returns to the White House, where Trump delivers a briefing and states the need to strengthen security at such events, including the creation of a more secure venue, such as a new ballroom at the White House. The attacker is later identified as Cole Thomas Allen, a 31-year-old resident of California, who was staying at the hotel as a guest. He lived in a suburb of Los Angeles, worked part-time as an instructor at a test preparation company where he had been recognized as Employee of the Month, and was also involved in game development, having released a project called Boredom on the Steam platform. Allen did not list a party affiliation. However, in October 2024, he donated $25 to Kamala Harris's presidential campaign. This is not the first attack in close proximity to Donald Trump, and the incident took place at the same location where Ronald Reagan was shot in 1981 outside the Washington Hilton. At the time of recording, the investigation is ongoing. Authorities are working to determine the attacker's motives, and the full picture of what happened is still developing.